welcome everyone to our wonderful gathering. We are again embarrassed by riches to have so much talent here in this space, and glad to be able to share it with you folks. So to those online, welcome as well, and I think you are in for a treat. And without further ado, we have the Anderson Brothers Jazz Trio.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's do it.
Welcome.
Before we continue to introduce the members of our ensemble. All right, well, now that that's out of the way, we're going to talk a little bit about the songs that we've decided to play today, because in the American songbook repertoire and the jazz repertoire, there are thousands to choose from. So we're just going to tonight kind of have a little potpourri of many of the great composers that America has had in the past. And hopefully you recognize some of them. If you don't recognize the songs, we don't really care. We're just going to play anyway. But that last one was a little bit off the beaten path. That was a song co-composed by one of the greatest clarinetists in American history by the name of Benny Goodman. And he composed that along with his guitarist, Charlie Christian. And that was called the Air Mail Special. And it works pretty well for us with two clarinets, but don't try that one at home with two clarinets. It's very dangerous. And just before that, we played a George Gershwin classic called Summertime, which I hope you recognize. And playing Summertime in this neighborhood is actually very special. If you don't know, Porgy and Bess, which was debuted as Gershwin's really kind of final masterpiece in his career, because he died very young. It was debuted at the Colonial Theater just a few blocks away from here in 1939, I believe, or 1937. One of those. Anyhow, Summertime was the opening lullaby to Porgy and Bess. So it's really special for us to play that piece right here in this neighborhood. And we opened up with another great American songbook classic that comes from the pen of Irving Berlin, and it was originally debuted by Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. That was called Cheek to Cheek. So we've played some Benny Goodman, some George Gershwin, some Irving Berlin, and now we're going to move on to the songbook of probably the most prolific Broadway composer. He had more hit Broadway shows than any other composer. I think he contributed to almost 50 different Broadway shows, and that's the great Richard Rodgers. So this is entitled, "It Might As Well Be Spring." much. We hope you recognize that last one. Of course, that was from Beethoven's Second Symphony. Oh, no, just kidding. George Gershwin again. We can't get away from him. That was called the Rhapsody in Blue. Now, of course, it wasn't the original version. The original one was with 27 musicians. We couldn't quite afford that today, but we did our best with 3 of us. And that piece really kind of put Gershwin on the map as an orchestral composer. And it was debuted originally in New York City with the Paul Whiteman Orchestra. And that was the first time that Gershwin really started to combine all of his knowledge about jazz in New York City and Harlem and Tin Pan Alley and European classical music, and he kind of mixed it all together. And that was one of his goals as a composer, is to create kind of an artistic unity. And that kind of solidified him as a crossover composer. So we love that one, especially because the glissando with the clarinet. He wrote it that way, and it's very fun. It's fun, but it's also feared by all clarinetists. So again, that was the Rhapsody in Blue. And we're going to continue and go back to the songbook of Benny Goodman. This is actually the first song that I ever learned by Benny Goodman, and you'll hear why. Because it doesn't have a ton of notes in it. This is called Moonglow. by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, and that was called My Favorite Things. That was, of course, part of the original production, but also reinterpreted and famously recorded by the great saxophone player John Coltrane. And there's a lot of Coltrane going on this year because we're celebrating the centennial year of his birth. So John Coltrane was a great interpreter of the Great American Songbook, but also, especially later in his career, he kind of went to outer space and played a lot of avant-garde music and a lot of spiritual music. And if you went and heard him in the 1970s, he might be soloing for over an hour. So you better get comfortable in your seats. But we'd like to kind of continue with some more Richard Rodgers because his songs are just loved by all types of different musicians, jazz musicians and cabaret musicians. Although Richard Rodgers really hated it when his compositions were performed outside of the Broadway show that they were in, because he was really a purist. He wrote the songs specifically for the show, and a lot of times he would kind of badmouth musical groups who would go on tour and play his songs. But he can't really speak up for himself now. But we're going to play a hit song from maybe one of the most impactful shows that he did with Oscar Hammerstein called Oklahoma. This is called Surrey with the Fringe on Top.
W.C. Handy, one of America's really first great composers in the 19-teens and 20s, famously performed by Louis Armstrong and many others. That was called the St. Louis Blues. It was played by many of the New Orleans bands and the Chicago bands in early jazz. And so like I said before, we're trying to give you kind of a potpourri. That's a French word, by the way, I speak French. A potpourri of some of our favorite composers and different styles of music. And with that in mind, I think maybe I'd like to play something a little bit off of our originally scheduled programming, because a huge influence on jazz was a Brazilian composer by the name of Antonio Carlos Jobim. And he
came to America, played with a lot of the great American jazz musicians, and even made an album with Frank Sinatra. And we're going to play a song that we hope you recognize from Jobim's songbook, because Jobim's originally from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and he grew up in a neighborhood called Ipanema. So we're going to play The Girl from Ipanema. You've been there? Nice. Introduce the members of the group, but we're so lucky to have with us a very special musician. He's a graduate of the Juilliard School, and he's traveled all around the world with many great jazz musicians. One in particular that you may have heard of, he was a pianist and singer by the name of Freddie Cole. And if you haven't heard of Freddie Cole, he was actually Nat King Cole's brother. And up until a few years ago, he was touring the world as a great interpreter of the Great American Songbook. And he heard Adam and plucked him out of Juilliard and said, I'm going to take you on the road. So Adam got to be in his quartet for many years. But this gentleman, his name is Adam Mazzini. How about a hand for Adam Mazzini on the guitar? Yeah. And then over here on the tenor saxophone, clarinet, and this wacky instrument called a soprano saxophone, which is what happens when you put a tenor sax in the dryer. You get one of those. This is my older brother, older by only 10 minutes. And he's my former roommate and my former womb mate. How about a hand for Peter Anderson over there? My name's Will Anderson. The three of us are based in New York City, and we're so thrilled to be here in this beautiful space where we can perform without microphones. We love doing that whenever we can. Acoustic music is the way to go. So we really want to thank everyone here who helps make this possible and supports this concert series, and as well to all of you out there on the web. Thanks for tuning in. And we did want to see if, just because we have a moment, does anyone out there have any questions for us about the songs or our instruments or our group or about our repertoire or about the size shoe we're wearing or anything like that? Any questions pop into your mind about anything? Yep.
The first one you already answered. I knew you were twins. So.
Okay.
Where do you play around here?
Oh, so we're all based in New York City. So we do tour and play all around. Trying to think if we have any shows kind of near Boston upcoming. But we have a website that has our whole calendar listed.
Okay.
But yeah, we play up and down the East Coast and all over. But New York City is kind of our home base.
And your website,
yeah, so our website is peterandwillanderson.com.
Peter
and Will Anderson.
And Will.
Yeah, or you can just Google Peter and Will Anderson and that will come up.
Thank you.
Yeah, but sometimes we get mistaken for the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli. So just watch out for that. Are they still relevant? People know Peyton and Eli, right? The two famous brothers who were quarterbacks in the NFL. Anyway, one person got it. Any other questions for us? Or don't leave Adam out. Any questions about our music or anything like that? Yes. Was that a hand?
I guess maybe. So how often do you guys rehearse or practice?
Great question.
Yeah, well, the three of us met like 15 years ago, so we've been playing together for a while. In this configuration, we've probably been playing for about 8 or 9 years together, and we've played hundreds of performances together, so we're kind of well-oiled as a group. I'd say in the beginning, we really had to practice more together to kind of get to know each other musically and kind of predict where the other one was going to go. Because in jazz, there's a lot of improvisation. There's a lot of kind of creativity, and we kind of have to figure out each other's minds, like what we're going to do. At this point, we much more like kind of just work on new repertoire. We don't have to as much like play together and practice, but we do have about, I don't know, several hundred songs in our repertoire. So we can draw on a lot of things. But I'd say in the beginning we practiced a lot together, like hours a day, many hours a day, yeah.
But it also depends what we're playing. So like, for example, that last one, Girl from Ipanema, we didn't rehearse that. I don't know if we've ever played that together. It's just one of those songs that as a musician, you gotta know it. So I didn't even need to ask Adam. I knew that he would know it. But then like something like Rhapsody in Blue, that took a lot of rehearsal. Because the way it fits together and all the parts and everything like that requires a lot more coordination. But something like Girl from Ipanema, or if we were to play, Take the A Train, or one of these kind of popular jazz songs, we can kind of do it without rehearsing. So,
Do you
yes.
play in DC sometimes?
DC? Yeah, we're actually from the DC area originally, and we perform there pretty often. We were just there 2 weeks ago.
Where do you perform there?
Well, we've performed in a lot of venues at Strathmore and Rockville, Maryland, at Blues Alley, the Kennedy Center, like lots of different places. So again, if you check our website, it's got it listed. I can't remember everything in my brain, but yeah, we're from that area. We're from Bethesda, Maryland, originally.
Oh,
So
nice.
we have a-
That's what she is. Good.
oh, another Bethesdaite back there.
Rockville.
Oh, Rockville.
Okay, Cool.
Okay, cool.
That
Very
counts.
good.
Question.
Yeah, Walt Whitman High School. So,
Oh, nice.
sorry.
Rockville.
Oh, okay, got it.
You had a question?
Yes. Where did you study your music?
Well, yeah, we met at Juilliard, so that was when we came to New York, and they have a jazz program that's been going for about 25 years now. So when we got to New York, the program was kind of in its infancy. Had only been going for 5 years, but a lot of conservatories and schools are bringing jazz into their fold. So.
They were known for classical.
Yes, yeah, historically they have a really amazing classical program.
Someone from Juilliard.
Yeah. And then they also have dance and acting. But also just being in New York City, I mean, we probably learned more just from being in that environment. I mean, school we did learn things from the teachers and the students, but just being in New York, we go out every night and to the clubs and theaters and we hear the people that we really love, so.
Yeah, these are great jazz clubs.
Yeah, so we really wanted, even if we didn't go to Juilliard, we kind of wanted to be in New York, so we would have gone to one of the other schools. Nothing against Boston, but we almost went to Berkeley.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say-
they have a really good program, yeah. But do we have a,
You know, one last question. So do you have any CDs or would you sell any of your music?
Yeah, we have some CDs available. And actually, just today, the CDs are free. They're free of charge. But the autographs are $20, and it's a package deal. So yeah, we have some of our CDs, and actually, Will had something else that he wanted to mention, right?
oh yeah, in addition to our CDs, I wrote a book that I published last year, and it's got a chapter on a lot of these composers that I'm talking about. So there's 15 chapters. George Gershwin, Cole Porter, Irving Berlin, Hoagie Carmichael, Jimmy Van Heusen, Henry Mancini, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, the Dorsey Brothers, Frank Sinatra, Benny Goodman, Artie Shaw, Harold Arlen. I'm missing two of them.
Harry Warren.
Not Harry Warren. Anyway, I'm missing two of them, but you get the idea. So I wrote a book that kind of has a lot of this fun information about these composers, so that's also available. But we're going to conclude with one more. Let's do some Irving Berlin. This is called Puttin' on the Ritz. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adam Mazzini on the guitar. Yeah. Will Anderson on the saxophone. Peter Anderson on the tenor.
Please stick around, join us upstairs for the reception.
All right.
Yeah, so we were in DC